Ronald Reagan was born February 6th in 1911. He grew up in rural Illinois and grew up in a poor family, had to support himself and his family to kind of grow his own career. He was elected president in 1980 and won by over 1 million votes against the struggling Jimmy Carter, which helped him to forward the new conservative movement and really strengthen his base in North America. He did a lot of things for the government, changed social aspects, economic aspects, as well as kind of the overall government layout. Socially, he created a huge amount of pride in the American dream, provided individualism as well as family values, and really valued hard work in the average American. He promoted job growth, he reduced inflation, and promoted the idea that if you work hard, you will be able to support your family and your country and create a great life for yourself. Economically, he created what is best known in the modern day as Reaganomics.
So the champagne is flowing as the city's young brokers and commodity dealers raise many and many a glass to the prospect of making lots more money. You're celebrating?
Yes, we are, yes. I mean, financially, things going well, steady, good. Yeah, no change. Happy with that.
What difference will it make to your life?
What if the Labour had got in? Well, financially, it would have been much worse off, I would have thought. Tax-wise and everything else.
So you're going to get richer, are you?
Well, I'm not rich already.
What about you?
Very happy the same.
What reason?
Well, I think all the reasons that Tony's just stated. Financially, whatever. I mean, it's not obviously the most important, but I think it's best thing for the country as well.
When you say financially, do you mean in the work you do?
Yes, I mean, well, both personally and in the work that we do. Good for all, I think.
This, of course, is one of the cleanest programmes on television, and it's about to get even cleaner because this week we heard from Mrs. Anne Waterman, who lives in Chigwell in Essex and is quite desperate to have a bath. She told us,
I actually bought a bath over a year ago. In fact, I bought 2 baths. They've been in my garage ever since. I'm not allowed to fit them.
now that is a pity because these aren't just common or garden baths. They're baths like this. Actually, that does appear to be in a garden. But Mrs. Waterman told us...
That's from a brochure I saw by a firm called S. Polyak Limited in Malton in Yorkshire. They sell really exotic baths.
And she's right. See for yourself. How would you like to sip champagne in a bath like that? I wonder why those old gentlemen don't know this. Well, it probably goes on all the time. Here's another everyday scene. The Mona Lisa in the Louvre. Obviously spending hours in the Louvre. Anyway, this is the set Mrs. Waterman liked best. We aren't sure who that gent in the hat is, but the bathroom set is called Fontainebleau, as the brochure says.
For the first time, Americans today are not free to say what they think. If they say something deemed offensive or insensitive or, worst of all, hate speech, they may be in serious trouble. They may be punished for violating the unholy commandments of the 90s, commonly known as political correctness. But is political correctness a new phenomenon? We'll show you tonight that political correctness has been in the making for more than 8 decades. And it seems that a deteriorating society is exactly what political correctness strives for. But just what is political correctness? As you're about to see, political correctness is nothing less than a Marxist ideology. Marxism translated from economic into cultural terms in an effort going back not to the 1960s, but to World War I.
What's the problem with the economy? Let me connect the dots and show you the big picture in less than 2 minutes, 15 seconds. Dot 1. Since 1980, the American economy has doubled in size. But adjusting for inflation, most people's wages have barely increased. Second dot. Where did all that money go? Almost all the gains have gone to the super rich. The top 1% used to take home about 10% of total income. Now it takes home more than 20%. And the super rich have 40% of the nation's entire wealth. The third dot. All this money at the top has given the super rich lots of political power, especially power to lower their tax rates. Before 1980, the top tax rate was over 70%. Now it's down to 35%. And much of their income is capital gains, subject to only a 15% tax. According to the IRS, the richest 400 Americans pay only 17%. Fourth dot. This means huge budget deficits. Tax revenues are down to less than 15% of the total economy, the lowest in 60 years. So public services are being cut at all levels of government. Our kids are being crowded into classrooms with more and more other children. Roads, bridges, levees, healthcare, safety nets, they're all being sacrificed. The fifth dot. Instead of joining together for better wages and jobs, many people are so scared that they're competing with other working people for the scraps that are left behind. So we get union versus non-union, public employee versus private, native-born versus immigrants. Final dot. The vast middle class, unable to borrow as it could before, no longer has the purchasing power needed to get the economy growing again, which means continued high unemployment and an anemic recovery. So you see the big picture? The only way we can have a strong economy is with a strong middle class.
Take a letter, Susie, make the coffee, Laura. Better have this